Now we're going to learn more about ocean habitats.
Ocean animals. A little over 70% of our Earth is covered by oceans. There are 5 oceans: Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, and Arctic. Within our oceans live thousands of plants and animals. Many of them haven't even been discovered yet. The deepest parts of the ocean have little or no plant life. That's because the energy from the sun cannot reach deep into the ocean, and plants need sunlight to survive. However, there is an abundance of plant life or seaweed wherever the sun can reach. Seaweed is the name for many different types of algae and plants that grow in the ocean. Seaweed is a type of algae that floats on the surface of the water. Another type of algae in our oceans is called phytoplankton. It is extremely tiny but very important. Living organisms depend on phytoplankton for food. This plant gives off more oxygen than any other plant on Earth. The largest ocean plant in the world is called kelp. Kelp grows very quickly and can reach up to 250 feet tall. It is usually brown, but some kelp can be very colorful. Seagrass is another type of plant. It grows in the shallow water of our oceans. It has roots and flowers. There are numerous plants in the ocean that are similar to algae and seaweed. Coral is another organism that lives in the ocean. Many people believe coral is a plant, but it is actually an animal. Coral has tentacles to capture small fish and zooplankton for food. Coral relies on the algae in the ocean to keep it alive. In return, the coral helps the algae to survive. The algae attached to the coral gives coral its beautiful colors. The ocean is the largest habitat for animals in the world. The animals of the ocean either live in the deep open sea or they live on both the land and in the water. Sea turtles and saltwater crocodiles, marine iguanas, and polar bears depend on the ocean for their food. There are also many seabirds that rely on the ocean for survival, including penguins, pelicans, tern, albatross, puffins, gulls, and others. Not all these animals, birds, and plants live in or near the same oceans. Some of the oceans are very cold with parts covered in ice, while others are warm. Let's take a closer look at each of the 5 oceans and see how they're different and similar. The Pacific Ocean is located between North and South America and Asia and Australia. It is the largest ocean in the world. If we combine all the land on Earth, the Pacific Ocean would still be bigger. It is also the deepest of all oceans. It is 36,000 feet deep. The islands of Hawaii, Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, and New Zealand are in the Pacific Ocean. In fact, there are thousands of islands in the Pacific Ocean. Something cool about the Pacific Ocean is that there is an area of hundreds of active volcanoes under its surface called the Ring of Fire. The plant life in the Pacific Ocean is kelp, algae, and other seaweeds as well as seagrass. Sea urchins, snails, abalone, and crab also live in the Pacific Ocean. Seaweed gives smaller animals in the ocean a place to live and hide from larger animals and predators. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean. It is the